It's Luke and Naomi.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm going to keep saying it like that, I think.
Yeah?
I like it.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever floats your boat.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, whatever time you happen to be listening. Thanks for joining us. It's Luke and Naomi on air, episode 18.
That's right, we're back.
18. We are pushing 20.
I know, crazy.
Crazy.
It's just going by so fast,
18.
too.
Now we're legal to play that lottery.
That's right.
All right. It is going by really fast. All of a sudden, it's September.
That's right.
I have no idea what month we started this in, and I am not doing that math backwards.
I know it was at least June because we talked about our trip coming up in July.
All right, yeah, so maybe May. All right, so we did it anyway. So happy episode 18.
That's right.
All right, really cool. Happy to be here for episode 18.
Of course.
Got some craziness going on for us over the last over the last week. Since the last time we talked to y'all, we had a hell of a couple of days.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, so our car died on us.
Yeah.
Basically, the vehicle we have.
We only have one vehicle. We've only had one vehicle since 2015.
Yeah.
And it works out fine for us because most of the time our schedule is basically the same thing. So it's never been a problem. We've always been able to make it work. Well, our one and only car died.
Yeah, and as you're saying it like that, we've always been able to make it work. Up until this year, we were working together.
Yeah.
Everywhere we went. So that was easy. And now, thankfully, we're not too far apart from each other, so it still works. But yeah, car just up and died.
Died.
So the way it works is I drop Naomi off in the morning. She goes into work earlier than I do, and I come back to the place, get ready, go to work myself. So I had dropped her off, and, of course, early in the morning, as it could be, 7:30 in the morning, come back towards home, and just all of a sudden, right in the middle of the street, the thing just stopped running.
Yeah.
And, all the electrics on. I didn't know what was going on. I'm not a car guy. I'm not going to pretend to be a car guy. I'm like, okay, I have electric.
We all know that you're not a car guy.
I'm like, I have electric, so it wasn't the battery.
Yeah.
That's what I could, and so I managed to pull it into the middle of the turning lane, which probably pretty bad, but knowing the traffic on this one street, if you're a Wilmingtonian, New Center, it's just, I didn't want to be on the shoulder. There's no shoulder.
Yeah.
So I went in the middle and was just, okay, what do I do now?
Hang out.
And
what else can you do?
I probably sat there in disbelief for, without exaggeration, 15 seconds at least, just going, huh, all right.
I think I probably would have started crying. I'd just be like, I just don't know what's going on.
Well, so
Help!
after a couple of seconds of not knowing what to do, I just try to get the car to start. Just prayed, started talking
absolutely.
to it, all that stuff.
Come on, Christine.
You can do it. That's right.
Do it for me.
You can do it. Come on, one more. Just get in. And here's the thing. We were 2, maybe 3 blocks from I was 2, maybe 3 blocks from the apartment.
Yeah.
So it was like, if she could have just made it.
Just a little bit further.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Just thinking
then
about
you
that
would
again.
still have all the issues of it's not starting for you to get to work and everything else. So it doesn't really matter that it didn't make you home. The fact is that it died and could not be revived is the big thing.
So fortunate enough to have our buddies over at Seaside Tires and Wheels here in Wilmington, who are just awesome.
Yeah.
So I call them. What can you do? Got anybody around just to help? And they come running. They put up the bat signal, and the first one, was tied from over there. He come running, and it was really cool. And I tell this part of the story, and I don't know why. I just think it was smart from him. He parked in front of my vehicle, but in one of the traveling lanes.
Yeah.
With his flashes on, of course, and all that.
Yeah.
And that kind of helped warn everybody that there was,
Get out of the way.
A hazard. That's the word I'm looking
Stay
for.
out of the way because there is a vehicle disabled here.
Yeah, and so then it was just him and I, so we both kind of start getting it rolling. I jump over to the side and start steering, and backwards too, because that's the way we have to go to get into the closest parking lot.
Of course.
Which isn't just a parking lot. We have to get in, and it's like a traveling lane, and then off again into a parking lot, up onto the apron, and all of that. You know what I mean? So we managed to get that going now, and got to wait for the tow truck and all that stuff. He's a car guy. He said, I think it's a fuel pump.
Okay.
So we bring it down to the body shop, Precision Tune. They're friends too, and they took good care of us. But the good care of us was they quickly diagnosed the fact that
It was not a fuel pump.
she ain't coming back. It wasn't a fuel pump. It's
No.
a timing belt, internal timing belt, or some junk like that. Catastrophic failure was a phrase that was thrown around at me. So in the white noise of realizing that my car was dead forever, that's the one phrase that I was like, oh my God.
Like, here's the thing, like that car, Christine, served us so well.
So well.
Like, we had Christine all throughout our travels in New Mexico. We had it for all of our adventures in New York. We drove down to North Carolina with it back in 2015.
I would say
trips to the Adirondacks. We took trips to Michigan. We just were all over in this vehicle.
we dragged it
South
to...
Padre.
Dragged it. We towed it to New Mexico. We towed it to North Carolina. So that saved her a little bit. But like you're saying, everybody, if you know us, if you've met us as Luke and Naomi, you've seen that car.
That was the car we've always had.
Yeah.
It's been through so much. So
I wish I want to run through that list again. There's so many places.
So while all this is going on, I'm at work and Luke sends me a text and is like, "Hey, you got to call me." And I'm like, "Okay, this is
I think
odd.
I said I need you to call me.
This
matter,
is odd, so I take a step away and I call him and he goes, "Hey, the car died. I don't know. They're going to take it in." I said, "Okay, we'll figure it out. Go find out what's wrong, all that stuff." So he ends up picking me up from work in a station vehicle.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, did you hear anything?" And by this point, everything had happened. So he tells me, "Yeah, the car is done for. We need a new vehicle." And I remember sitting there going, "Oh, okay, this is not the we'll figure it out that I thought it was going to be."
Christine's dead, honey.
But okay, we'll figure it out. We just have 18 more hoops to jump through,
Oh, no.
basically. Oh, my goodness. Not anything. Nobody is ever prepared for needing a new vehicle.
We went through this. We had the conversation that night. I'm like, why couldn't we have made this decision and go, you know what? She just isn't working anymore and we're putting too much money. Let's get something else. Why couldn't we do that?
Because that's not
yells at
how
me.
life works.
Exactly how she said it too. Just hollered right at me.
I wish it did. I wish we could have planned a little bit better for this. But such is life.
Such is life. I guess the planning is you've taken really good care of us as far as our budget and our finances. So
I tried to. Now there's a
weren't
big
in a horrible
monkey
place.
wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah, that is a bummer. But we weren't in a horrible place where
That's
we're going
right.
to be stuck thumbing a ride around town and all of that
Using the
stuff.
station vehicle for 3 years.
Using the station
Come on,
vehicle?
guys.
Oh,
It's
no.
fine.
That was
We'll get it an oil change. Don't worry about it.
Nissan Frontier. I don't know what year it is, but Nissan Frontier. And it's okay, but just...
It's not bad.
No.
I don't mind it.
The worst part is the back window is logoed over. It's wrapped over, and it's
Yeah.
not the see-through stuff. So
Yeah.
I have no rear view mirror, and I just hate that.
But for a free vehicle to use,
Oh,
it's not bad.
I'm not complaining about that at all. I'm just saying, it is nice to have a brand new vehicle because that's what ended up happening. We
Yeah, so the car died on Wednesday.
yeah.
And Friday, we got a new vehicle.
Yeah, so we fortunately know some people who know some people, and
That's right. It's all
got
about
us
who you know.
got us a decent deal and got us into a nice brand new. It's a Kia. I don't even remember. Seltos.
Seltos,
Kia
yes.
Seltos. Went over to Coastal Kia. They were happy as hell to take care of us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As car dealers tend to be,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 2023. So this is the first time either Luke or I have ever owned a brand new car. I don't even know what to do about it. I'm so scared to even touch the car.
Oh, man.
We get into it and I'm making sure there's nothing on my shoes. I sit down gently.
Terrified.
I want no food in the car, no drinks, no nothing. I am so scared right now. It's ridiculous.
I had my coffee with me this morning, and normally, drink my coffee on the way to work.
Yeah.
I have the lid, and I usually keep it closed when we're driving and everything. This cup holder's a hell of a lot better than the old cup holders. So it doesn't, flop around like the old ones used to. Remember that? That
Sure.
was terrible. So that's nice. But I would not drive with the lid open.
No.
It was just, and I didn't have any sips of it either. So I waited till I got to work to drink my coffee.
Because you're scared,
terrified.
you know? It's just, it's new. There's not even dust in it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's perfect.
it's just, it smells, it's got the new car smell, but a step above that, it's like factory new car smell.
13 miles after we test drove it.
Yeah. So
Pretty new.
this is the first time we ever had a vehicle like this.
Really happy
and,
to. Yeah.
I'm just going to go on a little side note here because, you know, I do deal with a lot of the finances for me and Luke, and, you know, I do pay attention to that stuff a lot. Would never see myself buying a new car. But when we got the news on Wednesday that Christine had passed away and we were going to need a new vehicle.
If you haven't figured out, that's what we called the car. She's red,
Christine.
and I love Stephen King, so
Yeah,
Christine.
Christine had passed away. So I was like, okay. I'm like, well, we've got, you know, some money saved up. I'll just look at, you know, used cars that are available. There's so many options now with Carvana and Drive Time and all the other ones, and then all the local dealerships. So I just started doing a quick online search, and oh my gosh, I was devastated within 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Within 30 seconds.
I could feel it.
I could not find a used car that didn't have over 100,000 miles on it. And I get that a car is still reliable and good after 100,000 miles, but I don't know who was driving it before. Maybe they never got the oil changed.
Yeah.
Maybe they were terrible and just beat up this car.
Yeah.
On top of that, all these cars, 100,000 miles, and the lowest price I can find is like $19,000. I think one was $17,000. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, for that price, you might as well buy a new car.
That's devastating.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
Yes.
So, you know, we ended up in a new one. Let's just put it that way, I guess. And it's like a spaceship.
It really is.
I almost
It's really
got
nice.
to cuss in there. So, but yeah, it is like driving a spaceship compared to the 2008 that we were driving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right down to the touch screen and the little knob that changes the drive mode and all of that stuff. Like, completely absurd.
And a charging station, a wireless charging station.
That's got to be my favorite feature. There's a little shelf for your cell phone.
Yeah.
Put your phone down, it charges it. No stupid wires all over the front and everything. It's so great.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that was our roller coaster of a week. The car dies Wednesday. Thursday, we find out that buying a used car is going to be a pain and all that. Friday, we go to Coastal Kia, and they were able to help us out, and we ended up getting into a brand new car, which, again, not something I ever saw, but really happy the way everything worked out.
And honestly, let me tell you, Naomi said she does the finances and all that stuff. She would have never, ever, ever, ever let us do this if it wasn't, easy and awesome and doable.
If we couldn't handle
doable
it.
is kind of what I was looking for there. So pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's big news.
That's
big
the big
news. Yeah.
Some sad news over the last couple of days.
We just talked about sad news. Christine passed away.
More sad news. I'm sure everybody has heard by now, but Dak Prescott's thumb is broken.
Goodness. That's the sad news.
A broken bone in Dak's thumb is going to put him down for 2 months at least. We're looking at October 30th against the Bears, or 2 weeks after that because of the bye week against the Packers. So, bye Cowboys season. I don't anticipate too many Cowboys victory Mondays this year.
Well, what happened last night before he broke his thumb?
Well, they were just terrible.
Yeah,
on top
okay.
of that. So that's why I don't anticipate many on top of that either. So.
Do you anticipate any?
Oof.
You want to throw a number out there? How many wins you may have before he comes back?
2.
Okay. Everybody heard it. Luke is guessing 2. 2 wins within the next 2 months.
They're so beat up, and they did nothing in the offseason, so I'm disappointed. Then there's a whole nother rant there. I'm pretty sure you don't need me starting.
Nope, we're not going down that road.
Let's just go Gypsy Pirates this year. That's my fantasy team. We'll be talking about that instead of the Cowboys all the time.
I don't want to hear about that either.
Speaking of which, happy Gypsy Pirates victory Monday.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Real, actual sad news, though. The Queen died. I'm sure everybody does know that. And
yeah, absolutely.
all of that stuff. And pretty crazy. she's been a lot. She's been queen our entire lives and our
70
parents'
years.
entire lives, and
Yeah.
then probably some of our grandparents' entire lives too. Really,
Crazy.
really, just a crazy story to be alive for this happening. All of that stuff. So had to, of course, reach out to our friend Brian in England, and
Yeah.
wanted to see, how he's doing and how he's taking it, and get some thoughts from him and his family. And he was really kind enough to share.
Yeah.
And he says they're all deeply saddened by the Queen's passing. He says she was a fantastic lady. He called her parents to let them know. And his mother said it's such a sad loss. His daughter, who is only 23, he said, is also upset. He said himself and Hazel are too. The Queen has always been a part of their lives, like we were saying. And he says it's like losing a close family member.
Wow.
He says as a child in 1977, he remembers getting ready for the Silver Jubilee. We just did the big one earlier this summer. He says going to get all fancy dressed up and then dressing as a pirate. Did I read that right, Brian? Because did you go to a fancy place dressed as a pirate? That sounds awesome.
That's raising
If I'm
some
getting that
questions,
correctly.
though, Brian. We need more details.
He says, and then, of course, this year going down to his parents to celebrate the Platinum Jubilee and helping his
right.
father put up the bunting and laying out the table in the street. They had that block party. We talked about that, too.
Yeah.
Setting up all the food and all of that. He says the Queen's done a ton for them as a nation and served the people with dedication and devotion over the years, and she'll sadly be missed. He says, I know in America and around the world she'll be missed, too. He says when he was in Oregon, the amount of people who commented to him about the Queen and how lovely she was awesome. And he said, and they always asked if he knew her personally. He says, I think they thought because he was from England, he automatically knew her and visited for afternoon
That's right.
tea.
Yes, absolutely.
He says both
Tea
sides.
and biscuits, right?
Tea and biscuits, I
Yeah.
think, yeah. Both sides of the pond, he says, are going to miss the Queen, and it is an extremely sad day. So thank you so much, Brian, for that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool. Appreciate you sharing that. And then he also sent us another one, a quick little story from his mother, if I can find that one quickly. He says his mother told him a story about Princess Elizabeth before she became queen. So how about that? He says his mother's sister Hilda was born on the same day as Prince Charles, November 14th, 1948. He says, and Princess Elizabeth sent every mother of a child born on that day in the UK a food basket and a letter. And he says, and it was so welcomed because rationing was still in place after World War II.
Oh my goodness.
So,
That's insane.
isn't that really cool?
Wow. I got goosebumps over here.
That is just an awesome story, Brian. Thank you so much. How
yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Nobody's got that story but Luke and Naomi.
That's right. That's right.
Wicked cool. I like that a lot. Thank you so much, Brian. That is super, super cool. And then I found some random facts. Remember, I used to do random facts all the time on the morning show.
I kind of miss those.
I love my random facts. So I found some in. Guess what? They're about the Queen.
All right.
How about this? Queen Elizabeth was queen for 70 years, 214 days, making her the longest reigning British monarch, the second longest reigning monarch of all time. Only Louis XIV of France was longer. He was on the throne 72 years, 110 days. 1643 to 1715, beginning when he was 5.
Weird and crazy.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing a little bit. At the time of Elizabeth's death, at least 9 out of every 10 living human beings had never known a British monarch other than her.
Wow.
It's kind of a fancy way of saying that, parents and grandparents and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Elizabeth was queen for almost 30% of United States history.
Crazy.
30%. Wow. The Queen ruled for so long that she made her eldest son Charles the longest serving heir apparent in British history at 73 years.
Yeah. That's insane.
Wow. And the Queen famously loved corgi dogs, owning over 30 of them in her lifetime, dating back to the first royal corgi, Dookie, in 1933.
Dookie.
Her last corgi passed in 2018, and she didn't want to breed any that would live on after she passed. So she moved on by getting 2 dorgies, a cross between a dachshund and a corgi,
Okay.
that the Queen is credited with inventing.
Huh.
How cool is that?
Okay.
There's some random facts for the Queen.
That's right.
About the Queen, I should say. And a less important passing as well. This one from your neck of the woods. It's a sad. We're sending off several things: the car, the Queen, and the Top Thrill Dragster.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw it coming. I know there was a bunch of issues. They had like a metal piece that had come off of the ride. No, it wasn't anything like too serious.
That's so freaky.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything too serious. It was just like a metal piece. It wasn't anything that messed up the integrity of the ride. It wasn't like this fell off of it and somebody got seriously injured or anything like that. It was just a small metal piece, and it ended up happening to hit somebody in the head.
Just makes me so nervous.
They were fine. They were fine too. They weren't seriously injured or anything like that. But then they had ended up shutting down the ride. Now, I don't know how long they had it shut down while all this was going on, but I thought it was for a little bit. But since they had opened that ride, it was always closed.
I was going to say.
Because, I mean, if the wind got up to like 20 miles an hour, they had to shut down the ride because the Top Thrill Dragster is 420 feet up. It would start swaying if the wind got too strong, so you couldn't ride it. And just, I feel like they had issues with it.
It sounded like, and I went once. You took me to Cedar Point once, and it was closed down that day. The wind got me out of riding it that day.
Yeah.
So.
Because I did want to take him on it, because it is an experience to ride. You at least have to do it once, because the whole ride only lasts, like, I think 17 seconds. You go from 0 to 120 miles an hour in like 4 seconds. You go up 420 feet, and then you come back down. So that's all there is to it.
If you've never, ever heard of the Top Thrill Dragster,
you live under a rock.
Okay. And then it is like the old school slot car things that would go up the wall, where they would have just a loop go up the wall and then back down. It was sort of like that. This thing would go straight up, and then in an arc that was like an inverted U.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just straight back down, but they would launch you, right?
Yes. And I believe it was the next year, or maybe 2 years after Cedar Point had announced the Top Thrill Dragster and built it and all that stuff, New Jersey Six Flags decided to compete with that one. And they did
King Dakar.
Yeah, which went up like 440.
Yeah, they beat it by a handful of feet.
Yeah, and then added like a few little like lumps at the end of the ride, so you got to go up and then down, and then you get to ride these little hills,
jumps, bumps.
I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. I was devastated when they did that, though. I was like, how dare you take that away from Cedar Point? Of course, you got all
territorial, huh?
I did. I really did. But, yeah.
So, Top Thrill Dragster.
No more. They're getting rid of it.
Really, if you've never heard of it, Google that and then King Dakar. You'll find both of them somewhere, but crazy.
Both very, very intense roller coasters.
I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to do Top Thrill Dragster, because I would like to have said, I did that. And then I don't know if King Dakar is still open. Do you know?
I have no idea.
Have to look into that afterwards.
Yeah, no idea.
But Top Thrill Dragster.
So sad.
Bummer, right?
But with Cedar Point, and Cedar Point will always be a favorite of mine. I will always be biased towards them. With Top Thrill Dragster leaving, that means it's opening the door for another new, big, groundbreaking roller coaster.
Let's hope so.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to let us down.
Oh, I hope not. They've always just been going, higher and faster.
There's a reason. It's the roller coaster capital of the world, you know?
Oof. Yeah, that place is awesome. We got to get back there. That was so much fun.
Well, luckily, we have a new car that can make the trip, because I'm pretty sure Christine wasn't going to make it back up to Ohio. She was... I'm
not sure if she could make it to the Tim Hortons on the Pennsylvania-New York border again.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
She got her last Tim Hortons. That's okay.
That's right.
So, let's see here. Trying to think of how to do this. Naomi's a monster, y'all.
I am not a monster.
Naomi is a monster.
I don't even know where you're going with this.
Over the weekend, we decide we're going to sit down to a movie and get a little snack.
Oh, I do know where you're going with this. I don't want to talk about this.
So, Naomi, very health conscious lately, has been doing little veggie plates. If you haven't seen on Luke and Naomi on Air's Facebook page, the latest charcuterie board Naomi put together yesterday for football, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's my new hobby now. I make charcuterie boards.
But the night before, we're sitting down to watch TV, and she breaks out a couple of, carrots and broccolis and stuff like that, and have little dollop of ranch. You all know how much Naomi loves her ranch. And if you don't, Naomi really loves ranch. And when we were in New Mexico, used to take a ton of heat because one day on air, she decided to say that ranch belongs on tacos.
It does.
Not just that she puts ranch on tacos or that it's okay, but it belongs on tacos. And we were in the heart of the Southwest. And that was just...
I was just trying to show people that, there are other options of things you can put on your tacos, and ranch is one of them, and it's good.
So
that's all.
If you're new to Luke and Naomi, first of all, thank you.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
second of all, Naomi, be crazy.
It's not crazy. Look, I will argue this point one quick time right now, that Taco Bell does like avocado ranch and all that, and everybody likes that on their tacos and things like that. Okay. So this is just like it, except for without the avocado.
Taco Bell is the beacon and the pinnacle of Mexican food and tacos, of course. So that's
one way to put it. Yes, of course.
Spoken like somebody who grew up in Michigan in the north, you know what I mean? Anywho,
I like my ranch.
We're sitting down to a little snack with a movie, and here's the veggies and the ranch, and she decides to throw a little handful of grapes on the plate. And as she goes to sit on the couch, cross-legged or on your feet as you do all the time.
Yeah.
There go like 6 of the grapes right into this ranch pile.
Right into the ranch. Like, they just rolled right into it.
Gross.
Yeah.
No. She just started eating them.
I ate them anyways.
And listen, I could have seen if you sucked the ranch off of them and then ate the grapes separately. I probably
should have done that.
Because she just ate, and looked at me like with trying to make a face of, no, it's totally fine. No, it was not. It was not fine.
Okay, let me just explain. I was just not going to waste the ranch or the grapes. Yeah, I probably should have licked the ranch off, because ranch and grapes, it wasn't good.
All right, she admitted it.
But I couldn't let it go to waste. That's ranch. It's Hidden Valley Ranch. Okay, we didn't even buy the cheap knockoff or anything. Hidden Valley Ranch. Didn't
occur to her in the very least to eat one and then the other.
Oh no, I'm just
get the ranch off of there first. No. Then nope, here we go. That's disgusting. You could see it in her eyes where it's like, I'm lying to you right now, trying to tell you that this is good.
Here, have one.
A couple minutes later, yeah, that was terrible.
Okay, so I guess you're right. I am a monster.
So Naomi's a monster. She's also a cat too. She played her first video game.
Oh my gosh. I did not play my first video game. My first video game in a while. Played video games before.
We've been talking.
It's been a minute. Years and years.
We've been talking about the game Stray that we finally got because Naomi wanted to pretend to be a cat and hit the meow button a whole bunch of times. So I come home from work the other day and there she is sitting on the couch playing a video game, lo and behold.
That's right.
I was surprised.
Figuring out all the puzzles, knocking the paint cans off the freaking ledges.
Did you have fun with that?
Oh my gosh, that and I kept jumping on the these ledges where there's flower pots and stuff, and if you kept running into them, they'd end up on top of you. I was having so much fun just being an idiot. It was great.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Oh my goodness, it was great. I was so worried I was gonna run off the edge or just I don't know.
How did
just
the
keep
controls
dying.
go?
Better than I thought. So, again, we talked about this a little bit in the last episode or the episode before. I don't remember.
I think it was the last one.
But just the games that I was used to, I'm used to PlayStation 2. You didn't use the joysticks much.
Right.
Maybe one of them a little bit, but you still use the arrows for most of the stuff.
The camera's kind of over the shoulder, and it moves for you, and now you get to choose what direction you're looking, and you got to move the camera independently from the player.
That's right. So I was all worried. I'm like, man, I'm going to have the camera going one way. I'm going to be walking another way, and I'm just going to go off cliffs or into walls and can't figure out how to get back. And I was a little anxious about this. That's why Luke couldn't watch me play the first time. I had to go figure it out on my own. And it wasn't bad at all. I completely overreacted by a mile, 50 miles. I don't know. I just overreacted.
Yeah, because it won't let you fall off of stuff, and it's pretty...
And
I mean, simple, right?
It really isn't that hard to control.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So enjoying playing a video game for the first time in years.
Yeah, I did. I've been thinking about it too, because it's been a couple days.
So have I, honestly. And if it wasn't for football yesterday, I probably would have played that thing all day long.
I'm sure you would have.
Honestly.
Yeah.
football yesterday. I already said the Cowboys are disappointing, so I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Until fantasy.
Oh, wait. There's one thing to mention about football yesterday.
Oh, yeah. We are supposed to talk about Grantsco, too,
no,
you know.
Well, I beat Luke in Grantsco.
There we go.
I did not do good, but I still beat Luke in Grantsco, so.
There you go. So
I also took the Lions as a 1, and I'm really mad because they let me down.
We both did. I was hoping for that.
I was like, let's go Lions. Come on, this is your year, right? No. Dang Lions.
I saw a meme that says, if you weren't here for, 3 whatever and 1, you can't be here for 8 and 8, which is this is great because
I do like
it's perfectly the Detroit Lions. So
it is.
There's
it really is.
Whole bunch of injuries yesterday too. Steelers fans, bummer. T.J. Watt, he's looks like he tore his pec, so that's quite a while. I mean, he's kind of a freak of nature, so you probably come back sooner rather than later. But yeah,
most of them do.
Whole bunch of crazy injuries yesterday. A couple of overtime games and a tie too. It was an interesting week 1 for sure.
It was a bad week 1. I didn't like it.
It was interesting, I would say. That's how I'm going to put it. And,
I'm going to be pessimistic over here and continue with it. It was a bad week.
You can at least take the victory over me in the Grantsco thing. That's our football pool, if you don't know.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
So, yeah, beat me by something like, I don't know, 6 to 10 points. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible outing for me. Anyway, football, I guess, is a good enough segue into entertainment news, eh?
Sure, why not?
I got this thing here that looks like Netflix is going to change a little bit of, they're constantly changing and stuff, but they're going to change a little bit of their delivery system.
Are they going to send us DVDs like
again?
before?
Yeah, as soon as I said it, I heard that coming out and perfectly teed that up. So, no, they're actually going back to like the old school model of appointment watching. They might stop with the whole binge watching thing.
I don't like that though. I like to binge watch
I know.
because the appointment watching, we've been trying to do that with the House of the Dragon because we are now 2 episodes behind on that. Why? Because I'm doing other things Sunday night. I don't got time to watch that.
I had to watch the Cowboys
forget
be
about
terrible.
it. Yeah, priorities.
That's right. So if you are one of those people who likes to binge watch like us, I guess it's bad news. They might, though. I don't know that this is confirmed or what. They might start moving back to the classic 1 episode a week format, which is now basically we've done a full 180 we're back to just have cable. Have cable.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just for some shows. If they do it, they're not doing it for season 5 of Stranger Things. If you're a Stranger Things fan, if you're worried about that, they're facing so much more competition with all the other streaming services ramping up their original content. They've all got something you'd probably want to check out at least a little bit. And they think the weekly format will keep viewers engaged and basically subscribed over long periods of time. So you can't, I'm going to buy it this month. We're going to stream Stranger Things between 2 weekends, and then we're going to get rid of it after the month is up, and then we only paid $12 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They don't want you doing that anymore, I guess. It allows fans...
How dare they?
This is funny, because this is written as if people are starting to discover this, and, it allows fans to discuss, theorize, predict, and, of course, pick apart the show along the way. Yes, we know, because we all did that with Lost.
We did that with everything.
Yes.
Before streaming was a thing, that's what you did. The show ended on a cliffhanger. What do you guys think is going to happen?
That's right. I'm trying to think of the last, modern, real episode. Like Breaking Bad, I think, was a lot, but that was in the mid-2000s.
Was the last show that you watched like that, where like you're trying to figure out what's going to happen next?
I guess Game of Thrones, right? That lasted right up where everybody was watching weekly and stuff like that. That would be the one. I guess I'm looking for like the most recent one before everybody really just stopped with appointment watching, basically. But I guess viewer standpoint, it cuts down on spoilers. But, I don't know. It doesn't because inevitably you're like us and haven't watched 3 episodes in, and I don't know what's going on. I have to scroll by every article I see because we just haven't sat down for 2 straight hours to watch a show.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down for 10 hours straight or 0. Let me watch every single episode in one sitting or none of them.
Yes, exactly. I want a 10-hour movie or I'm not watching.
Yeah.
That's it. That's quite the menu there. All right. We've talked about the Weird Al, I guess, biopic.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
That's not true. Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al. Actors often, learn a new skill. A bunch of, like, Keanu Reeves knows how to use, like, almost every firearm in the world because of all the movies he's done. And,
Okay.
Ewan McGregor, who's Obi-Wan Kenobi, knows a pretty good amount of sword fighting at this point because of the lightsaber action and stuff like that. Singing, dancing, horseback riding, ice skating, all of that stuff. But Daniel Radcliffe, for Weird Al, learned how to play the accordion.
Oh, awesome. Good for him. Glad they didn't have to fake that.
Imagine that, because, now all the people making accordion movies are going to come running and go, hey, I know exactly who...
I know who can play the accordion. Let's get him to do that.
Quote Daniel Radcliffe, nobody asked me to, by the way. It was entirely self-inflicted. He said, if you're playing Al, what else am I doing? You got to make an honest attempt.
Right. Instead of just faking it, no. You might as well learn how to play.
Weird Al even offered up a critique. He says, my most common note was, please pump more.
All right.
Man. That's
my
awesome.
Goodness.
We got another month and a half to wait for that. That's Roku channel November 4th, so I hope we'll get to talk about that a few more times.
I hope so.
Guess what happened over the weekend? Again.
Something
more
other than
stuff.
football?
Of course.
I don't know.
If it's not football, it's got to be superheroes, right?
Oh, my goodness. Okay,
So,
what happened?
Disney's big D23 Expo went down in Anaheim over the weekend, and, a ton of stuff came out of that. Harrison Ford announcing Indiana Jones 5.
Okay.
And he said he's really proud of it. He loves it, and they gave him a standing ovation, and he, started to choke up a little bit.
Oh,
And
wow.
all that stuff.
Okay.
It was really quite adorable. And then a bunch of teaser trailers have been released, so here's kind of a list of stuff that we might want to check out the trailers for and see if we're going to... The live-action Little Mermaid, they released a teaser for that featuring the new Ariel singing the Part of Your World song.
Okay.
And she's Halle Berry's kid, and I swear to God that says Halle Berry, but it's Halle Berry, not Holly.
Right.
Because let's, make it easy on anybody. They dropped trailers for Hocus Pocus 2 and
I got yelled at for that at work because I still haven't seen Hocus Pocus.
I don't remember Hocus Pocus. I've
we
seen
need
it,
to
but
sit down and watch that like October 1st or something.
All right,
and
cool.
then now we'll know a little bit more with the second one.
We'll add it to like the Halloween movie lineup.
Yeah.
We like to do that. Enchanted, did you ever watch Enchanted? Mm-mm. They have a sequel for that called Disenchanted coming out.
I saw something about Disenchanted on Facebook, and I thought it was that TV show that's the guys who made The Simpsons?
Yeah, the cartoon on Netflix called Disenchantment.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's back. And I'm like, no, this is not the same thing. And I was like, all right.
I do believe there's a season of that we haven't seen also.
Probably. There's so much that we're missing. We're just slacking over here.
Oh, I know.
We were beach bums for the last 6 months.
That's
so
right.
we haven't done nothing.
We've been outdoors. That's what we've been doing.
In that fresh air.
In other movie news from Disney, Inside Out 2, if you're a fan of the first Inside Out. I wanted to watch that, but
Me too.
I don't watch Game of Thrones and stuff that I really like. Why the hell am I going to watch a kids movie on top of that? But maybe
It's on my list.
Naomi might overrule one of these Saturday nights, and we'll end up watching Inside Out 1.
Yeah.
Then we got, trailers for The Santa Clauses, a sequel to the Santa Claus franchise.
Did not know about this either. My friend Natalie had posted something about it on Facebook, and I saw the graphic, and I'm like, is that Tim Allen again?
is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm interested.
He, I don't even know the plot or premise of this at
No
all,
idea.
but I love at least the first two Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well,
We'll see.
new stuff for Christmas this year. That looks
That's
fun.
right.
Percy,
And it's not a Hallmark movie, so
Right.
Bonus.
It'll be fun. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I watched the first two actual movies that they made, and they were going in the right place, but they just dropped off, and I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
There's a sequel to Willow called Willow. Did you ever watch Willow back in the day?
No, I don't even know what that
It's
is.
starring Warwick Davis, the little person. He's also been like a ton of... he's been in like every Star Wars movie and some other stuff like that. But Willow is like a huge favorite among kids who were just raised in the 80s. It's a strange
Okay.
movie.
Never even heard of
But
it.
it was fun. It was cool. National Treasure, Edge of History TV show.
Okay.
I imagine Nick Cage is going to be in it because he needs money.
Of course.
But,
He always
you know,
does.
He probably won't because just to make me wrong, I guess. We got Tales of the Jedi. Plenty of Star Wars stuff coming up. Yeah. I won't make you watch those, I promise.
Okay.
There's a couple of them you're going to get off the hook.
All right.
And Marvel's Werewolf by Night, which is an actual werewolf story. We not exactly sure. I am not exactly sure if that connects to possibly Blade at some point, or if it's just their kind of comic book take on werewolves, and now we're getting a cartoon of it. Or live action. I'm not sure. And then
all I can think about is I wish there was a camera in here so people could watch us as we were talking, because I just kept making like the goofiest faces at you. Like each movie and TV show and thing that he's announcing, I'm just looking like, huh? What's that? Weird.
And then you gotta be careful to make those questioning faces, because then I'll start explaining.
Yeah, and that is why everything has been overly explained, because I'm looking at Luke like, the hell are you talking
That's
about?
right.
So that's why he's got to go into so much detail about this stuff. Willow, I never heard of that.
Secret Invasion 2 is the next TV show. That's where we're going to get Sam Jackson as Nick Fury, like a ton, his own show, which is
Okay.
That's awesome. You know, Sam Jackson finally gets like a full run as Nick Fury. And to wrap up entertainment news, just for fun, the New York Post put together a list of the best zodiac sign, the best movie Emmy. Hold on. Let me start over. The best Emmy-nominated show you should watch based on your zodiac sign.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So just for fun.
Yep.
Let's see here. We'll start with Pisces, because why not?
Okay.
Better Call Saul. That's what they say. If you're an Aquarius, they say to watch Euphoria. If you're a Capricorn, Succession. If you're a Sagittarius, Ted Lasso.
I wonder where they came up with the idea of this, or if they're just like, let's just put movies and TV shows with zodiac
With
signs.
the zodiac signs?
Yeah.
Just
like no thought in it whatsoever.
throw them all on the floor, and whichever one's laying the closest to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I imagine. Scorpio should watch Ozark. Libras should watch Pam and Tommy.
This is such a bad list.
Virgo should watch Only Murders in the Building. I want to watch that, by the way. That looks really good. Leos should watch Abbott Elementary.
Never even heard of that.
Cancers should watch What We Do in the Shadows. Another one I want to watch that's the hilarious vampires.
More ones that we're going to add to a list that we're never going to get
That's
to.
been on the list for years, honestly. Gemini should watch Stranger Things. Taurus should watch Yellow Jackets, and Aries, which Naomi and I both are,
Yeah.
should watch Squid Game.
I'm here for that. I want to watch that. I can't believe we haven't watched that already.
We haven't had Netflix in, I
that's
think,
why.
well, however
I
long
always
The
forget
Office,
that we don't have Netflix.
however long The Office has been off of Netflix, we haven't had Netflix.
Yeah.
So there's a good handful of junk on Netflix that we aren't going to watch either.
I know we haven't caught up with Stranger Things and
Yeah,
Squid Games now.
and then
you.
Cobra Kai too. I can't.
Oh
there's
my
just
gosh,
so much.
there's so much. We need Netflix.
It's ridiculous. And then I heard there's a documentary about the And One crazy street basketball players from back in the 2000s. They were so much fun to watch. There's a couple other good docs on there.
But we can't get Netflix because they're going to go back to one episode per week, and I can't do that.
Yeah, Stranger Things though.
Yeah.
We can get them for 2 months. When they go back, we'll get. We're never gonna do that either.
No.
It's just we're all talk.
Yeah, we're all talking.
We're just all kinds of talk.
One of these days, though.
All right, so
One of these days.
If you haven't noticed, I have kind of abandoned This Week in Science over the last few weeks.
Oh, yeah, I haven't noticed, but yeah.
Well, I've sort of wanted to decide between entertainment news and This Week in Science, and I feel like entertainment news was just a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Yeah.
So, Brian, though, this week sent me an article, and he said, you have to bring back This Week in Science for this one article.
Okay.
And after checking it out, I said, you know what? That's great, and I love
Oh
this.
my gosh, I know where we're going.
And I definitely am going to read this, but I'm going to throw this on entertainment news just for fun because
No, I know where we're going.
somebody asked the internet to come up with a name for a space probe. You want to finish this?
No.
That is headed for Uranus. I'm going to say that again for fun. They asked the internet to name a space probe headed for Uranus. It's pronounced Uranus, but who the hell cares?
Why would you ask the internet to do this? You are asking for trouble doing that.
The Uranus Orbiter and Probe is a project NASA hopes will be launched sometime in the early 2030s. The mission would
NASA, what are you doing?
They're just clueless, I guess. The mission is going to spend several years orbiting the planet, possibly sending... I just have to a couple of times omit because I'll never get through this.
Oh, come on. You can do it.
And it's going to spend several years orbiting Uranus, possibly sending a probe down through its atmosphere to the surface.
Yep.
Could tell us a lot about the makeup of the ice giant, which is why such an important mission's name probably shouldn't be left to assholes like me.
Yeah. You think?
Because
why? Boy. This is your fault for asking the internet. You know what kind of answers you're gonna get. You have to ask your colleagues. What should we name this? Not random people.
Several years orbiting Uranus. They're just so...
You're 12. You're...
All right, here's...
Are you going to be able to read any of these? Oh my gosh, he's dying. His face is so red right now.
All right.
See, we do need a camera in here.
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh my gosh. Yes, are you going to be okay?
Oh, yes, I am. This is the greatest day. Thank you so much, Brian.
Brian.
Dad jokes. And he
Brian,
gets the show,
I'm rolling my eyes
Brian
right now.
Brian gets the show. With an official-looking poster image, a number of people took the question to mean that NASA itself was asking the question, because this wasn't NASA who actually put up the poster.
No.
Anyway, let me just skip ahead, because somebody went and did a whole bunch of heavy lifting for us and put together 2 lists.
Oh, okay.
Serious suggestions.
Okay.
And the good ones.
Okay.
So I'm gonna,
You should start with the serious ones.
I'm gonna rattle off some serious ones.
Yeah.
Anu, or Anu, A-N-U.
I don't think that's a good idea anyway.
Anu Uranus.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anu was a Mesopotamian sky god. Okay. Aphrodite.
A sky god heading to Uranus?
That's right.
Still doesn't sound good.
You're forcing these puzzle pieces together, and I'm enjoying every second of it. That's great. Apricity. Reflection of the light on a frozen surface / warmth of the sun in winter. I just want to skip to the good list now. There's Bodhi, after astronomer, or maybe it's Bode, after astronomer Johann something Bode, or Bodhi, who determined the planet's orbit and suggested its present name. So
that's a nice one.
The Bodhi-Uranus probe.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
I like it.
Yeah.
Boreas, Greek god of north wind, and I'm stopping right there. Yep, yeah, and I'm the bad, Yeah, it's me. It's all me.
It is. Oh.
I love that.
This is stupid.
This is the episode that forces us to get a camera. Or cancels us completely.
No.
Caroline, after astronomer Caroline Herschel, sister of William Herschel. I don't know why that matters.
No.
Discovery,
do not name it Caroline. Come on.
Discovery after one of the space shuttles. Earhart after Amelia Earhart. ESCHR, acronym for exploratory spacecraft for Herschel Expanded Report. Exploratory now? You really are. We need to skip. Let me run through Endurance Orbiter and Shackleton Probe. Frog. Let's see. Because Uranus spins on its side and the Maluti River frog blinks sideways. Okay. Hermes, Greek god of adventure and travel.
I just think Futurama.
Jotunheim, the Norse distant realm of ice giants. If you're familiar with the Thor Marvel movies, you know that one. Lassell, after an astronomer. Loki, Norse trickster god who defeated ice giants. Muse.
Yeah, but no, you cannot name that
no
spaceship Loki.
Why don't you just name it Tom Hiddleston?
Yeah.
Muse, acronym for Mission Uranus Science Expedition. Odin, the great Norse god who defeated ice giants. Olympus 7, with a 7 instead of a V. It's the 7th planet, and odd spelling for its unusual axial tilt, I guess, because whatever.
That one's like an actual interesting...
Somewhat clever.
Yeah, way to do things.
Shakespeare, after William Shakespeare. Tempest, Thor. the Uranus Herschel orbiter,
No.
Viracocha, and Emir. Those are the bad ones. Now for the good stuff.
I'm not ready for this.
All right.
Oh my goodness. I apologize already.
We've got a couple of acronyms that people have submitted. So I'm going to read the words and you can find the acronym yourself. This is going to be fun. Ready?
Yeah.
Advanced New Uranus Space Mission. ANUS. A noose.
I am not laughing. Oh my
Another
goodness.
acronym, Better Uranus Telemetry Tracking. BUTT.
These are awful.
Let's get rid of the rest of the acronyms here. How about Planetary Orbital Observation Probe? Poop. The poop probe. That doesn't seem right going to Uranus.
Oh my god.
Let's see here. Research.
I'm just leaving right now. I'm more mad at myself of how hard I'm laughing because
you're a child too, and you're letting it show.
yeah.
How about
And I'm trying not to over here.
research, education, charging towards Uranus mission? Damn near killed him. Uranus probe.
I am not saying anything anymore. I'm just moving away from the mic because I don't want anyone hearing me laugh either after these.
Just UP for Uranus probe. And then the good, even better ones. Ready? Bootylicious,
Oh my God.
the Uranus probe. Charmin, the Uranus probe. I want to... This is ridiculous.
Charmin, there you go. There's your advertising. Every time there was ever a toilet paper commercial on TV, I always yell, like, why are you wasting money advertising? Everybody's going to use you anyways.
I know it.
We all know that. So, Charmin, there you go. That's
So let's just go back as I'm rereading these and remind you that the mission would spend several years orbiting Uranus, probably sending a probe through its atmosphere to the surface.
yeah.
Deep dive. Again, a bunch of dinguses came up with names for the probe to Uranus in the early 2030s, if you're somehow just joining us.
I am just so disappointed in myself.
Enema. Mission colonoscopy. The Uranus probe.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with everybody?
Our anus.
Oh my gosh. We gotta stop. We gotta stop with this list.
Operation butt plug.
No. Oh my gosh.
Just for your information, I would have read that on the air, on the radio in New Mexico too.
I know you would.
And you would have fired me right afterwards.
I would have just glared at you. Just death glare. Like, you owe me big time.
About Shinya Wolf, that's the inventors of the colonoscopy.
Oh, yeah, great. Oh, that's an interesting name. Where do you think that came about from, you know?
Oh my goodness. To Uranus. The Uranus probe.
Oh my goodness.
Probe Uranus. Proby McProbe face.
Of course. I was waiting for one of the McFaces to come in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prostate exam. The Uranus probe. Space heater.
These are awful. You gotta be done. Like, have you made it through this list yet?
2 more.
Okay.
Urectum. After Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth on Futurama. For real. And finally, Wandering Finger.
Oh my god.
Brian, if we don't have an episode next week, it is not your fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Brian. Oh my gosh. How did you...
Oh, I love it. Well done. Well done, Brian. I hope he's having himself a laugh. I hope everybody is. And yeah. And my dad probably turned the episode off 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He was done with your stuff.
A few minutes ago.
Yeah,
All right,
long time ago.
That's going to bring us to our topic for the week. We asked you...
How can we...
well, children, back to school.
Oh, okay, yeah. Great connection there.
Perfectly
Perfect.
done, right?
Yeah.
Just
well done.
plowed right through
well
that.
Done.
So
I'm giving him a round of applause.
we asked her your back to school memories, of course.
Yeah. Yep.
Couple of good ones. Couple of interesting ones. Honestly, Barb's starting us off with one. So we said best or worst back to school memories. I was thinking worst as in like, spilled lunch all over my new school clothes and had to spend the rest of the day like that.
Yeah.
Or, car splashed me with a puddle on the way in on first day or something like that. Barb says my younger sister was driving. We got T-boned.
Oh, my goodness. That's a bad first day of school.
I guess so. She says, luckily, no one was hurt in either car.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And also, she was very generous about last week's episode and said it was just a fender bender, not a complete and total train wreck.
Thank you. Yes, it was just a fender bender.
Yes, thank you,
This
Barb.
one was okay until the science little segment there.
Thanks, Brian. I love it. All right, let's see here. Snowman says he always dreaded going back to school. He said he was bullied all the way until 11th grade.
Aww.
And then he found a cool group of friends and all that stopped. And I asked him, what about 12th grade? Was that a good memory? He said that it was definitely a good year because it was his last year. As he said, he literally took a gut punch from a bully in front of a crowd at the end of junior year and didn't even flinch. He just looked him in the eye and asked, do you feel better?
Wow.
He said, you should have seen his face. Everyone got really quiet. He turned and walked away. He said, what they didn't see was me screaming in pain inside.
Oh, you got to hide that.
Still really well done, Snowman.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's really cool. And then Tom says when he was in elementary school, he finally got the lunchbox he always wanted.
All right.
I got to ask him what lunchbox that was, too.
Yeah.
He says, only to find out this was the year everyone decided to brown bag it. I was the only kid at school with a lunchbox.
That's a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then it's like you have this lunchbox that you really like, but you don't want to use it because, brown paper sack. That's it.
So then you just end up storing your Matchbox cars in there or clumps of dirt or whatever, depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty funny.
Okay, so I could not think what was like my best or worst, first day back to school kind of memory. But the one thing that I will never forget was, okay, so kindergarten was a half day for us. And, first grade's a full day. So at the end of kindergarten, you did a full day of school to kind of get used to it and see what it's like and all that stuff. So, in kindergarten, you rode one bus to school, and then you got on a different bus to go home because it was a half day. When you go to school for the full day, you are on the same bus, the same one that you go to school with, you come home with. So, anyways, kindergarten, I got on the one bus, then me and my friend got on the other bus because that's what we were so used to doing. We didn't know that we were supposed to go on the same bus that we came home on or that we went to school on because it was a full day. And I remember me and her are sitting in the seat and we're looking around and we recognize nobody on the bus. And I started kind of freaking out a little bit. And I'm like, the bus is going a different way. We don't go this way. Like, we're not going to get home kind of thing. It was...
You knew which way you were going in kindergarten?
Well, I knew we weren't in the same area as I was normally in. Yeah. Again, I lived so far from school and it was like the last kid off the bus. Yeah. Like, we were staying in town all of a sudden.
There's 20 buildings.
What is going on here? This is not correct. So anyways, they had to stop the bus after a little while and get us back on the right bus. I remember seeing the bus driver like on the little walkie-talkie CB thing. Yep. Yeah. A bunch of times. And it was because they were getting the other bus by us so that we could get on the correct bus. So they stopped so we could get on the correct bus. So the whole point of this long story is the second we get on the correct bus, I just start crying. Aww. I just started bawling my eyes out. I'm freaking out. Everything's all worked out. I'm on the right bus now. I'm going to get home. It's okay. But I mean, like, we could not leave. The bus driver's like, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm just, oh my gosh, I didn't know what was going to happen. Whatever. Just freaking out. Not freaking out while it's actually happening. Freaking out after the fact, So that would probably be the worst. first full day of school I had.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's how I'm going to spend that one. And as for best, I mean, I loved going to school when I was younger, like first, second, third, fourth, and fifth grade, I think. And that's when I stopped liking it so much. But I loved it. So first day of school was always fun and always exciting. And you wear the new outfit and you got all the new markers and crayons and color pencils and whatever crazy, thing that they've got out, glue stick that's pink now or whatever.
Yep.
So all of that was always exciting for me. Didn't really have anything bad besides that bus incident, and even that wasn't really that bad.
I was never a big fan of going to school.
No surprise there.
And so there isn't one particular that jumps out to me. I would say absolutely my senior year was the best first day of school because you're a senior in high school.
Yeah.
The big fish in the small pond thing.
Oh, yeah,
all that,
absolutely.
Who your group of friends are and all. It's going to be easy.
You rule the school,
all of that stuff. So I would have to say, and even though I barely remember it, the first day of senior year of high school was probably, looking back and having to pick one, probably my favorite good memory and all of that stuff. I imagine there was probably some good ones, other years and younger and all of that stuff. But that was probably up there. I feel like ninth grade stands out to me for some reason. Not sure why, but it does.
I don't know. 8th and ninth grade were good years for me. I feel like that's when I was starting to figure things out, get comfortable in my own skin kind of thing and all that. So I know those were big years for me as well.
So I had the I guess worst one was third grade because I don't know how the hell this happened, but found a hammock in the house.
Okay.
And it was like an old, it was like a basketball hoop hammock.
Okay,
Not really, but like mesh just all the way through. And like a fishnet or a hammock, whatever you need it for, like that. And my dad had put it up in the house in a little area where, we could have a hammock in the house. We had a nice sized living room as a kid and all that. And it was just me and him, so it was a tree fort, basically. So we had a hammock. And I don't know what I was doing. I tried to swing in it in one way or something, and I toppled backwards out of this thing, landed flush on the top of my head, and, jammed my neck up or something, tightened up a muscle and all of that, and was so solid stiff that I missed the first day of third grade.
Oh, wow.
Because I did this the day before or 2 days before or something like that, but I just couldn't move. And then, it loosened up. I got better, got sick.
Of course.
So third grade, and the way school started for me back in the day was it always started on a Wednesday. So I missed the first full week of school in my third grade year because I landed on my head and then I got sick.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
They didn't have one to do with the other. It was just...
No, it's just how it happened.
Hurt my neck and then got sick, so I missed the first 3 days of school. And I probably missed, picking out a good seat and all of that stuff.
Well, yeah. All the important stuff.
All the important stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Then you show up and everybody's like, who's that kid?
That's right.
I didn't hear him introduce himself last week.
Yeah. Man, now that's starting to hit me.
No, I'm
There's
sorry.
a whole bunch of stuff that I missed out on because I wasn't there for the first day.
Listen, that was third grade. I bet you it didn't change anything over the course of your life.
In the grand scheme of things,
yeah.
Nothing. But that was, my worst would be third grade, and then probably the best would be
senior year.
Ninth grade again was a good one too, but senior year for sure. All right, so we have to get on to something for next week.
Okay.
But I thought I would do it this way. I thought we would do it this way instead. I know we talked about this recently, and I know we talk about it all the time. Reasons that people might, when you're people watching or out in public or whatever, maybe standing in line or sitting in traffic, you silently judge other people for little things that they're doing.
Oh my goodness.
You secretly go, oh man, that person's whatever. Little things that you might secretly do.
I don't silently judge people because I always tell Luke what I'm thinking. But
so it's not silent or secret at all.
There are times where I catch myself saying a bunch of stuff and then I go, man, that's mean. And I'll even say out loud, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That's really mean. Because Well, I'm human, and I judge people when I'm people watch.
So
I apologize.
This has been going on for probably about a month. It's been,
I don't like this. I feel really guilty already, and I haven't even said anything.
one of the internet things that happens, and stuff like that, little lists and discussions and confessions that people get into and stuff like that. And it's not bad. They're not horrible things. It's really, really little things like, when people take their dog to the store, leave them alone in the car.
Yeah.
Especially in the heat, especially when it's a regular shopping trip, not just running in for one or two items, your dog's sitting in the car for an hour.
No matter what, if I see the dog in the car, I'm judging you.
Right.
Like, even if you just happen to run in and run out, I don't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to judge you.
Now, how about this one? People who park at the gas pump when they're not getting gas or paying inside. Like, they drive up, park at the pump, run inside to get a pop or a soda, come back out, and then leave. That's not a parking spot. Yes, you've done it, haven't you?
I have done it before. If there's no other parking spots, I'm going to take that one.
It's not a parking spot.
If all the rest of the spots are taken, where am I supposed to go?
You've been actively judged.
I know.
Spitting in public's another one. I'm terrible with that. My mom hates that stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really think it's that big of a deal.
How about allowing a child to run around and scream at places they shouldn't?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely judging on that. Yeah. We were in, where were we? Kohl's. And two kids were playing like hide and seek or something in the shoe section where we were at. And like they really weren't that bad. It was actually kind of cute. That's and everything. Right. But like the one kid started like running behind us and trying to hide behind us. And I'm like, I am a stranger. Like, you should not be doing this, And the mom is like 2 rows over, and I heard her go, "You guys cut it out." And then she's looking at shoes. I'm like, that really worked.
Nice job.
Yeah. Again, wasn't really that big of a deal, but your son is probably like 5 years old, hiding behind me. I am a stranger. Like, no, that's
no.
not right.
No.
You don't know what other people are up to. Just no.
How about people who go into a place right before it closes and then just kind of take their time? If it's a retail store, they stroll around. If it's a restaurant, they won't order right away.
Oh, that's awful.
Or they finish eating and don't take off right away. People who stand in doorways, usually deep in conversation. How about people who stand in the aisle?
Oh, and we've talked about
that.
The
last 2 times we went shopping for anything, there was right in front of the men's shoes. The only place that I'm going to even look anywhere in a store when you're shopping is like, maybe I'll look and see if there's some shoes I like or something like that.
Yeah.
Right there for a half an hour.
Yeah. Just having a conversation. We talked about that. El Wevo had to get the little bike horn, at Walmart and honk the bike horn to get people out of the way, because people would just stand in the aisleway and have a whole conversation and block the whole aisle. Like, that's the part that drives me insane. Like, if you want to have a conversation, just move over to the side a little bit. I'll still, get in your face about it if I need to get to the thing that is behind you. Like the one guy, when we went to Costco and I was trying to get beer. And the guy was like on the phone explaining something about the beer that I was trying to grab.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get his attention because I'm like, hey, the thing you're touching, I'm going to buy. Like, get out of my way. Yeah. I'm looking at his wife for help.
My decision has been made.
Yeah. And the wife was like, oh, and like trying to like get his attention. And I just started moving it away from him. I'm like, this is mine. Excuse me.
That was great. I was silently applauding you. And how about that?
Just get out of my way, okay?
We got one more. How about when people leave an empty cup or other trash on the shelf in a store?
Oh, I cannot stand
There's
that.
There's garbages all over places now. Like
half a bottle of soda that's been drank, or when they leave cold items near like clothes and all that. Like, really, you just wasted money and food. Like, you couldn't have put that back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What? Are you that lazy? Come on.
So what things do you secretly judge other people for in public?
That entire list. Oh, my gosh.
That entire list. That's what we want to know for next week. What do you secretly judge other people for?
Well, it's not going to be a secret no more.
In public, yes.
Yeah.
Let us know, of course, on Luke and Naomi on Air's Facebook page. I'm going to try to do a new thing and put up an actual post for it a little bit earlier than a few hours before we record the podcast this week. So you'll see episode 18, and then I'm going to try to put up another post much earlier where everybody can comment and get your answers in on and all of that stuff.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll see how
Are
well
we
that
all
works
talk
out.
again, or
I'm going to do my best. We'll see how well that works out.
I'm excited for this one. I'm
You're
looking forward to getting some answers and then hearing everybody else's answers.
That's right. What do you silently, secretly judge people for in public? If you would like your answers kept anonymous, we'll tell you right off the bat. I will do that. You can send them to like Messenger or something like that.
Yeah, send them to Messenger and then say that you want them anonymous.
Also this week, I'm going to try to put a poll on the Spotify page because we can do that. And Brando mentioned it might be easier for him to comment, to remember to comment, because as is the kind of pitfall with the podcast now, you're listening to the podcast wherever you are, you forget to drop your comment when you get to a place where you can...
Oh, that's right.
You know, all of that. You can't call in live anymore.
I know. Such a bummer.
Listen, hang with us for a little while longer. We're going to get to a place where we can do the show live if everybody's down to hang out at 7 o'clock at night on a Monday.
Yeah.
Maybe we tweak that a little
Speaking
bit.
of that, are you missing a football game right now?
There is football on. I was going to pull it up on my other computer monitor here, but I figured you didn't want to completely lose me when we were just recording anyway.
Oh,
so
absolutely not.
I kind of decided against that.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Anyway, what do you secretly, silently judge people for in public? Cannot wait to hear your answers.
I can't wait. This is gonna be good.
Let's come with that fire. How about bully and snowman the whole time?
That's
what I
right.
silently
That's
judge people
right.
for. Not cool, man. Not cool.
That's right.
All right. I think that's it. It's been an hour and 15.
Oh my goodness.
Almost.
We just kept talking and talking and talking away.
Lots of stuff this week. It was a packed show for sure.
It was. All right, it's time for the thought of the day.
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day. My best Monday voice.
I was going to say that was pretty good, actually. All right.
I'll take it.
Who taught the first teacher?
Oh,
Let you ponder that one for a while.
Socrates. Socrates. All right. I gotta start slowing down on this book.
Why is that? Running out?
We are running out of dad jokes.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Brian, you're going to have to send him another book.
So, anyway, before we get to that, another big shout out to Coastal Kia here in Wilmington. If you are in Wilmington, check them out. They're pretty solid.
They got some nice Kias.
Can't deny
They're
it.
missing one, though. That's ours now.
That's right. And if you are in southeastern New Mexico, don't forget October 22nd, Cielo Grande, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. You can go to act.alz.org/walk Roswell. Register your team. Go hang out there. It's super, super fun. It's going to be a great day full of, making memories and helping to stamp out some dementia and things like that.
And you don't need like a big team. You don't need to have like you and all your coworkers. It could be you and a friend. You can make your own team.
And if you are
raise some money and get out there and walk.
That's right. If you are not in Roswell in southeastern New Mexico, find your local chapter. You can go to alz.org/walk to find wherever you can get out and do that, or
Absolutely.
wherever you can just help along the cause. Send a couple of bucks in.
Yeah, let's end this.
That'd be hella cool.
Yeah. Luke, you're going to leave us with a laugh.
I am going to do my best. Thanks again to Brian for the earlier laughs with the greatest article I've ever read in my entire life. That was just fantastic.
I'm still embarrassed.
Thanks again to Brian for the book of dad jokes. I got to slow down with these, so we're only going to do 2 today.
Okay, that's fine with me. You're going to leave on the end on the good one, right?
do my best.
All right.
What's the difference between ignorance and indifference?
I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Ha ha. Ha ha ha. That's definitely a dad joke
Yes,
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, what do you call a horse with insomnia?
I don't know.
A nightmare.
That's stupid. How can you laugh that hard at that? That's stupid.
I love it. Oh, the best. Thanks again to Brian, basically for the substance of the whole show today.
Yeah.
Really
yeah,
cool story
yeah.
from his mom about the queen before she was queen and the whole Uranus thing.
If we had a listener of the day or a listener of the week, I think Brian would have got it with all that.
Nailed it.
Brian,
Nailed it.
you get to be our listener of the week in spirit.
Awesome. What do you silently or secretly judge people for in public? Luke and Naomi on air on Facebook. You can drop your comment there. You can drop your comment on YouTube and on Spotify too. Thank y'all so much for hanging with us for the 18th episode.
Woo! do.
We'll see y'all next week.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.